Welcome back, my lovelies, and we're here at Lane Air Rifle Range, and we're going to have a look back at this year, which is 2024, and see what 2025 brings. I can now call us Lane Air Rifle Range and Activity Centre with the improvements that we've made, but we'll get into that shortly. So first of all, January went off without much of a hitch. We just started getting the car park started getting really muddy, the pathway started getting muddy. As people were leaving, we were saying, well, if you get stuck, just beep your horn, and we became super good at pushing people out of the car park, which wasn't ideal, but we managed to stay open in January. February was another matter. As the mud started getting really bad, we then decided we were going to build a little drive pathway up to the top of the car park where it wasn't quite as muddy to try and stay open. Do you remember that? We had to get loads of little paving stones and build a little track.
We thought we got it fixed because we tested it. Unfortunately, when we opened the next day, the first customer came along and drove right up the end and off the end and went up to his axles into the mud.
Yeah, it took us quite a long time to get him back out, in which case we felt really bad because somebody had actually come over to use the range, brought a camper van, stayed overnight somewhere down the road, and when he came we had to close, which was really sad. I think that was the lowest point in, just disappointing people and having to close for me. So we'll show you the differences in the car park from then and when we had to shut, and the pathways, because while we were shut we spent quite a lot of time at the range improving pathways until it dried out. The car park dried out enough for us to open back up, so you can have a look at those now. So all in all, we were shut for about 5 or 6 weeks. So while we were shut, we did those improvements, but we also improved the 50-yard bench, because when we initially set that up, we did it so that people could stand and zero, maybe sit for a little bit, but then go up onto the course. We found that a lot of people wanted to actually sit at the bench and stay at the bench, and it wasn't really fit for purpose. So we needed to level it off, put a nice wooden flooring in, and put the bench, improve the bench top. So have a little look at the improvements there.
When we got to the spring, summer sort of season, it was usual general maintenance which we were doing. A lot of the time we are just cutting grass, stripping things back, making targets visible. There's a lot of spraying targets, make sure they're all working, strings aren't snapped, and that is the majority of our summer work. There's not too much goes wrong in summer. But Louise had the idea that we could do with a shorter range, mainly for people coming up and trying out if they want us able to get up and down the paths that we have. So we put a second range in.
I like to keep him busy, don't I?
Yes, quite a bit. So we put a second range in up at the top here near the hut, and that was pretty much, we got the idea from the big 50-yard range where we put some decking in to level it, so you stood on decking shooting off. It's only up to about 35 yards, but there's plenty of targets on there. People come and have a go and absolutely love it, and we put covers over it, made sure they could shoot in the rain, and then
it was a good addition though as well, because we got our extended opening times. We were open during the week, so sometimes I was here on my own, so I could have a shoot myself if we didn't have anybody in, but also do rifle hire so that I can still do the top and know if someone's coming in or out, and do rifle line at the same time. So it was a really good addition for us, and it's a nice little fun bench to shoot from as well, I think.
Yeah.
So if you want to take a look at that.
So just after we completed the bench at the top here, we'd got the path going down, but when we took over this place, there was a little bridge that was put in by the previous owners, and it was basically OSB board that had been left out for a few years, got wet. It was a bit spongy, but it was fine to walk on. It was kind of like walking across your bed, as it were. As you walk along, you could go across it, but it was a bit spongy.
Turning into a trampoline.
Yeah, it finally gave in on us. So after the success of the deck we put in for the top range, we decided we were going to get some nice new decking boards and build this totally new bridge that we're going to show you now in a second. One of the things that we do is we take on suggestions. We like to improve it, so when people suggest something, we look at changing it or making it better anywhere we can. And one of the big problems we had was the lane down to the range and the car park. After we had to go and we closed, we managed to open back up somewhere as it all dried up, and we didn't get caught out again this year with the same problems. Anyone that came to us previously and haven't been for a while, we managed to speak to the local council, and we've got the lane resurfaced all the way down, so it's lovely and smooth.
There are a lot of potholes.
It was dangerous. It was getting to the point it was dangerous.
The council kept coming out, and it was like they'd got a ruler into the pothole and said, no, that's not deep enough, because they come down and fill certain ones and leave other ones, and then the water were running down the lane, and they were just washing everything away. And so the amount of times we kept ringing up and complaining, they have now eventually done the lane, and the car park, we've managed to get some what's it called,
road planings,
which still aren't finished. We have got some more coming along, but take a look at the differences there.
So one of the other things we did was we had the big move around on the course. Obviously we've got the big field target course up there. We don't always necessarily move the targets around, but we might change the size of the kill zone, so the target might be in the same place, but it'll have a different size kill zone because there's reducers on the targets. We'd sort of run out of other options, so it would time to move the targets around. So we moved them around, and we put some great little scenarios. So we've got a squirrel actually up a tree, which it seemed a great idea at the time, but now we have to keep climbing the tree to respray it.
Rather you than me.
It's not close to the ground, let's put it that way. But yeah, we've got some good feedback from people that have actually been and shot at clubs around and said it's a good course. There's something for everyone. We've got some tags that are your standard 8 to 40 yard. Then we've got some that go out there to 73 yard. So it pushes your skills, helps you practice, gets your eye in, and generally it's just a good bit of fun. So that was one of the things we did this year. We moved everything around because we ran out of options with the kill zones. And then we added lights to the members' hall, because the members were saying, they're struggling to see that when they're loading the magazines, as it's the winter evenings are drawing in and stuff like that. So we've managed to run some wiring down to the hut. We've got some nice big strip lights in there now.
It's very bright. Very bright.
One of the low points we had this year was when we had Storm, I think it was Bert,
Well, we've had a few, haven't we?
But the main one, we came in one morning to find the backboards on the 35-yard lane down, the tarpaulins had snapped and come down, and we had that with the 50-yard and the 35-yard bench. It had caused a fair bit of chaos for us, which we've got some pictures of here to show you.
One thing I was super excited about was adding some other activities to the range. So we firstly started with the catapult range, so we've now got a catapult range set up, and I managed to do that because Adam took a couple of weeks off work. So I give him a list of jobs to do. So we have got that set up. Take a look at that now.
So we're also on with making this pistol range. We've had to use a different type of metal for the targets because the UK laws state that pistols can't be over 6 foot-pound. Now, with a lot of our air rifle targets, it's a thicker steel, so when they shoot them, it doesn't necessarily react how they'd expect it to react. So we've made a specific pistol range with targets designed for pistols. We've had a few people test it out as we're still building. We've still got to put a cover over it and paint it all up because we've built some stalls to stand in, so you can't accidentally turn the pistols on each other by accident. And they've come back with good feedback from it, saying the targets are reacting nicely. They're getting they're hitting it, it's making a nice ding, and it's swinging, so they can definitely tell they're hitting the targets. And so far, it's been good things. So we can show you where we're at now, and then later on we'll do another video when it's completed.
Working for. So as you can see, we've had a massive 2024, and we couldn't have done it without all of our members, visitors to our range. We just want to say thank you very much. We hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas, and we wish you all the very best for the new year. And if you'd like to keep updated with the trials and tribulations of Hale Air Rifle Range and Activity Centre, give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.